And Battlefield 1 was 6 years ago. That's honestly crazy to me. We must now forget about Battlefield 5 for a second. Alright, so Battlefield 2042 is the first Battlefield in 6 years. Look, I know Battlefield 5 probably got better with updates, but I also heard it got discontinued rather early, so yeah, we'll just forget about it. And before we get into the review for Battlefield 2042, I just want to say I'm a little conflicted on this game. More so than pretty much any other game I've ever reviewed, at least recently. But is that a good thing or a bad thing? Well, let's talk about it. Hi guys, DPX here reviewing today Battlefield 2042. Now before we get started, you know what to do. Be sure to subscribe, hit the bell, and leave a comment, or I'll blow your face off. Now this review is going to be a little different because I'm actually so conflicted on this game, I'm not even sure how I can format the review the way I normally do. Normally, I break up the review segments, specifically like core gameplay, story, characters, and other stuff, and then the final verdict, along with any other segments, any other things about the game that I think deserve their own segments. But I feel that every single one of those kinda connect with each other when it comes to Battlefield 2042. I tried to format this review like how I normally do, but I just can't for some reason. I just want to get this out of the way first. It's a lot more fun than I was expecting. Now, I bought it because I thought it would be fun, but from what I've heard from people who had early access, I thought it was going to be a miserable experience. And if you look at the beta footage and some of the early access footage, and you put it next to my footage, what the fuck happened? That must have been the biggest day one patch of all time. Seriously, after hearing about its broken nature, I'm honestly dumbfounded by how this runs. It's not even anything groundbreaking, it's just a huge difference from what I was led to believe. Now, that being said, there are still some bugs and glitches. Some of them are kind of funny, I will admit, but let me just list you a few. I once tried spawning a vehicle because getting from point A to point B takes a while, and it spawned upside down, and when I went inside of the vehicle, it blew up and killed me. Great. So yeah, that's kind of funny, but what isn't funny is how I once tried to select an area to deploy on the map, and it just wouldn't work. I know there are sometimes areas where, like, you know, it's too busy or whatever. No, it didn't say that. It just wouldn't let me spawn. I actually had to leave the game and hop into a new game where I was faced with the same issue, to where I actually had to close the game and reopen it, and it started working again. One bug I heard a lot was how you can't revive someone when they are next to something, as in like a wall or an object or anything, and while it seems half fixed, it's also half not fixed, so you can't always be revived when you're next to something, but sometimes you can. The hit registration can be wonky at times. Sometimes I'll go through 2 entire rounds of ammo before someone actually finally dies, and other times they'll die in 1 hit. And the servers are still an issue. Not too terribly bad, but can get frustrating. I surprisingly never received a single crash though, which is interesting. There are also many modes you can do. You have All-Out Warfare, which is like the main mode, Hazard Zone, which is like the squad-based mode, which I don't like too much if you're not playing with friends. Which, by the way, playing with friends is a bit more difficult, needlessly. There's also Portal mode, where you get to customize your own game, and the cool thing is, with Portal mode, you actually get to play older games like Classic Conquest in Battlefield 1942. I just realized that that's 1942 and this game is 2042. I did not write that down. I literally just realized that right now. Moving on, you get to also play Rush in Bad Company 2 and Conquest in Battlefield 3, along with a new mode in VIP Fiesta, which was, I guess, designed by Courage streamer, so that's pretty cool. I almost wish these modes slash games, I guess, were released as sort of their own separate remake collection game, because this is definitely the best part of 2042. There are also some fundamental issues with this game too. The whole class system is dumb and it makes the game look confused. What I mean is, I feel the game isn't sure if it wants to be Battlefield, Call of Duty, Overwatch, or Fortnite, and I don't think it's working. It should just try to be Battlefield. The tank controls feel wonky too. I try to stick with just about every other vehicle other than the tanks, and whenever I use the tanks, I try to go into the cockpit. Not to mention the maps, which I'm gonna be honest, look great, and they're big, which is what this game boasts about, and they are definitely impressive, but they're a little too big. Like I said before, getting from point A to point B will take sometimes up to 5 minutes in real time, and that's ridiculous if you don't have a vehicle. But here's why I'm conflicted. This game is fun but flawed. I listed all the flaws in this game, but there is still a lot of fun to be had. Maybe it's just a very addictive game, but whatever it is, I can't bring myself to hate it. It might be the fact that after hearing from others about how broken this game was, my expectations were set extremely low, like actually bottom of the barrel low. But there must have been a massive day one patch. In fact, can anyone like watching confirm that for me in the comments? But here's the main thing that kind of frustrates me about Battlefield 2042, and it's that this game was only released now, so EA can have a game for the holidays. This game is still missing features, modes, and is still buggy. But this isn't a game that EA is going to abandon. There is a good game in here. In fact, a really good game. They could have delayed it though. They could have added more features. They could have touched some stuff up, and it would have been phenomenal. That being said, I'm going to give Battlefield 2042 a 7 out of 10. It's a much higher score than I was anticipating after hearing from people who played Early Access, but to be honest, I'm still not sure about a 7 out of 10, but that seems to be the score for fun but flawed. So yeah, I tried my best to review Battlefield 2042. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree with me? Because again, maybe it's just shock, you know, maybe it's just the fact that my expectations were pretty high. I had high hopes for this game, and then I heard from early access players that it was absolutely like unbearably broken, so my expectations were like astronomically low. And then this game is actually pretty good, but it's still super flawed. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Do you like the game? Do you not like the game? Do you have the game? Do you not have the game? And if you don't have the game, do you want the game? Do you not want the game? Anything about the game, let me know down below. Anyways, be sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, or I'll blow your face off. Bye!